Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24. For today, the Athletics are going to hit the road to face the modern dynasty in the Atlanta Braves, who sit 78-52 on the season. The Athletics coming to this one 42-88. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. And the reason why I call the Braves the modern day dynasty is because, well, not only are they the defending champs, they've won 2 of the past 3 World Series. And if you include the past 7, they've won 3. Or actually, past 6, they've won 3. 2021, 2024, and 2026. So this team has won the World Series recently. It's going to be a tough task because Sammy Ciani will start the game by being struck out by Spencer Strider. Jacob Wilson in the 2-hole today grounds the slider over to third, but he'll be put away by Nick Madrigal. We'll take a look at the Athletics lineup today. You can tell already in a little bit of different spots, as we'll see Noda up next, followed by Tyler Soderstrom, Garrett Hampson, Elliot Ramos in center, Daniel Susac the DH, Lawrence Butler in right, and Nick Allen playing second base. Giloff still dealing with a minor injury, but we should see him after this trip to Atlanta. Here's Noda now with 2 down. The first pitch rips a fastball into right field, but it's right at Mateo. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Strider. Going against him will be a Mick Gabel, our ace, who's 3-14 this season. Not very ace-like record with a 4.61 ERA. Mateo recorded the final out at the top of the first. Will start off for the Braves, and he'll rope a fastball high into left field, where it will be caught by Ciani. We'll take a look at this Braves lineup. The defending World Series champions, currently tied for the best record in the NL East, trying to defend their title. We'll see Nick Madrigal next out in third base, Eloy Jimenez, the DH, Matt Olson at first, Ozzie Albies, the second baseman, Orlando Arcia at short, Jared Kelenic in left, Sean Murphy at catcher, and James Wood in center field. So we don't have to worry about Ronald Acuna Jr. today, thankfully, as Madrigal up next will fly out to center field. Going to bring up with 2 down, Eloy Jimenez, the former Chicago White Sox, who blasts a fastball deep to left field, and this one's out of here. Over the bullpen, a solo shot for Eloy Jimenez. A guy that we pursued this offseason, tried to get him to sign with the A's, but instead he spurned our offer and went to the Atlanta Braves. Not that I can blame him. He hits his 20th home run of the season. Atlanta leads now 1-0. As the former A, Matt Olson, up next with strikeout swinging. We go bottom 5 now. Here's Orlando Arcia at the plate, the 2026 NL Playoff MVP last year. He will ground out to begin the frame. Jared Kelenic up next with a base hit in his first trip. We'll hit this one right at Noda. And it's gloved nicely over there at first base. 2 down for the former A, Sean Murphy, and he will hit a base hit up the middle. The 2024 NL Playoff MVP with a base hit. And he will take first base for the 9-hole hitter, James Wood. First pitch to Wood, and he's going to fly out into center field. And the Bell's done a pretty good job today. 1 earned through 5 innings. We go into the top of the 7th now. Here's Tyler Soderstrom at the plate. Unfortunately for Abel, he just has gotten no run support today. That'll be a walk on Soderstrom. That'll bring up Garrett Hampson, the former St. Louis Cardinal, who's 0 for 2 on the evening. First pitch to him, and he will ground this over to third. It's going to be knocked down. That's going to avoid the double play, but it will be a ground out. Soderstrom does move to second with 1 away. Elliot Ramos up next, 2-2, and he misses on the inside slider, and Strider's been canning batters left and right today. It was already his 12th strikeout of the day, and with that, actually, he would be pulled. They're not going to allow him to finish the 7th. Instead, righty Brett Dahm, the rookie, will come in relief instead. Tasked with getting the final out here of the 7th. He'll start against Daniel Susac, and with the first pitch, he'll get underneath the sinker, and Dahm will accomplish his goal, flying him out to right field. Kyle Muller will then come in the bottom half of the 7th. Abel's 6 strong innings. Unfortunately, will not be in line for a W, though, as Muller will start off against Kelenic, and he will start by walking him on 5 pitches. So Kelenic takes first base. That'll bring up Murphy again, and the Silver Slugger will hit this one deep to left center. But Sammy Ciani will range over and make the play for out number 1. James Wood now up next with a full count pitch, and he will miss a fastball right down the middle for strike 3. 2 down for the top of the lineup. Jorge Mateo back up, 0 for 3 on the evening. Full count pitch, and he looks at strike 3, misses the fastball. Still only 1-0 as Reynaldo Lopez will then come in for Atlanta. The 182 ERA. The Braves have a great bullpen. He needs one more out here in the 8th, and he's going to get it against Sammy Ciani, and the Athletics still scoreless through 8 innings. Going into the bottom of the 8th, here's Zach Jackson in relief. Muller started the inning but was quickly pulled after allowing a base runner. Eloy Jimenez up next with the 1-2. We'll hit this one to left center where Ciani will put it away. And it's still only 1-0 here in the 8th inning, mind you. Here comes the 2024 NL MVP, Matt Olson, who pops up a pitch. Nice job by Jackson to get him out. And now it's just Ozzie Albies up next, just to keep it a 1-run deficit. Full count pitch, and that one will just miss. Good eye by Albies will grant him first base. So 2 on now for Orlando Arcia, who also draws a walk. Now Jackson's loaded the bases thanks to back-to-back walks. For Jared Kelenic, who's been hitting above 300 this season, hits this one well to left, but it's going to be caught. And it's still 1-0 going into the 9th inning, where the Braves will bring out their closer, the reigning NL reliever of the year, JoJo Romero. Split time between the Cardinals and Mets last year, now finds his home in Atlanta, trying to go for save number 40. He'll start off against the heart of the order. Jacob Wilson up first, and an 0-2 pitch, chops it up the middle. It's going to be a close play, but he'll beat it out, and that's going to be a base hit. That puts the tying run on first for Ryan Noda. 3-2, a nice cutter right there. Times it up almost perfectly, but it's not deep enough. That was our best chance. A cutter right down the middle with good timing, and it's an F8. 1 down now for Tyler Soderstrom, and he swings and misses with the inside sinker, which means the game comes down to Garrett Hampson on the final out. 2-2 count to Hampson, and he hits a cutter well into right, but it's hit right at the right fielder. And that will do it for this one. The Braves win by a final score of 1-0. A quick one here at Truist Park, as the offense just let us down today. The pitching was great. There was no offense. Struck out way too many times. Strider was can batters left and right. And then when we hit the ball, we just hit it right at people. And we're unable to get a run, as we only had 3 hits to our name. Play of the game goes to Strider, 6 2/3, 12 Ks. We struck out 14 times in total. Just stinks, because that was a really good start for Mick Abel. Game 2, we do win, though, 6-2. Pedro Pineda went 3 for 4, which is nice to see. And Clark Elliott also hit a home run. And JT Ginn got a win. He's 2-0. 3 innings, 0 earned, 5 Ks. Your Tuesday game of the week, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Diamondbacks 2-1. A big win for Cincinnati against the best team in baseball. 2 teams that could definitely meet up in the postseason. We do make one quick roster move. We're going to send down Lawrence Butler. He's kind of fallen off a little bit at the major league level, and we're going to call back up Logan Davidson. I know he hasn't played the belt in AAA, but he's been one of our best big leaguers, and I want to give him more chances down the stretch. We lose game 3, 10-3. Jared Jones did not have a good start, 6 earned and 4 2/3, and then Mason Miller gave up 4 earned as well, without allowing a run, and we lose the series to Atlanta. Now we'll return home at 43-90 against the also struggling 50-84 Chicago White Sox, who have fully entered the rebuilding phase. They were sellers this year at the deadline, and they've set themselves up for the future. But that future will not be in this season, as these 2 struggling teams will look to go at it. As you can see, the Athletics taking the field back at home after a 7-game road trip. And returning home for the start will be J.P. Sears, making his 26th start of the season, 6-13 record with a 4.29 ERA. Cole Young will lead off for the White Sox, a former Mariner, acquired before the season for Nestor Cortez, and he'll start the day by lining out to Zach Geloff back at second base today. We'll take a look at Chicago's lineup, a lot younger now, as we'll see Noah Miller up next, followed by Andrew Vaughn, Dominique Fletcher, Dalton Rushing, Brian Ramos, Max Clark, Fernando Tejera in left, and then Eric Brown Jr., the DH, to round it out. Here is Noah Miller, a key piece in a trade, at the biggest trade of the deadline, Luis Robert to the Dodgers. He was one of the 3 guys that they got in return, and we'll see all 3 today. He grounds out, which brings up Andrew Vaughn, who hits this one high into left field, and Ramos will put it away for a 1-2-3 first. On the mound for the White Sox will be Jarrett Schuster, the former Brave, who hadn't pitched in the majors before this season in 4 years, last pitching back in 2023. Geloff, after battling some minor injuries, is back into the lineup today, and he will start by singling into right field to kick the game off. So he'll sit now at first base. This is Nick Allen at short today. He gets a fastball inside, turns on it well to left, but just doesn't have the carry. And that'll be the first out of the frame. We'll take a look at how the Athletics line up today. A little bit different already. As we'll see in the 3-hole, Ryan Noda getting the 3rd spot, followed by Tyler Soderstrom, Elliot Ramos in left, Jacob Wilson at third base. Garrett Hampson's your DH today. Pedro Pineda in center, and Clark Elliott out in right field to round out the 9. Here's Ryan Noda now up next, 228 on the season for him, and he swings through the slider. Good pitch by Schuster to get him swinging. 2 down now for Soderstrom, another lefty-lefty matchup, another slider, but he will make contact. We'll ground out to short to end the first. We'll go top 5 now. It's also been another pitcher's duel today as Dalton Rushing starts off the inning by walking. That's the 4th walk of the day for J.P. Sears. Brian Ramos up next, 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out back in the second, his first at bat. And he also draws a walk. That's 5 now. Free base runners for J.P. Sears allowed. First 2 on now for Matt Clark. The other trio, as he's also a former Tiger, but acquired in the Luis Robert package. And he hits this one to short where Allen will play it. And that's going to be a fielder's choice as Clark beats it out. So runners now in the corners now with 1 away. Good chance here for the Chicago White Sox to score, and Fernando Tejera will do just that. That's off the foot of Sears. And that's the first base hit for the Sox today, and it results in a run. 1-0 Chicago. Sears will stay in the game. And then the rookie Eric Brown Jr. up next will single into center. And the former Coastal Carolina Chanticleer will have an RBI single. Chicago now up 2-0. Sears will stay in. Top of the lineup, Cole Young grounds this to short, trying to turn 2. What a flip by Allen. He does it. It saves a run. Chicago will get 2. It's now 2-0 as we'll go bottom 5. Jacob Wilson up first. Gets a beautiful changeup to hit, but just misses it. He flies out to right. Offense going quiet again today as well. Garrett Hampson up next. He checks his swing, but they say he went around. I disagree. That's a K. 2 down now for Pedro Pineda, and he will draw ball 4. That fastball misses low. Inning will stay alive as that'll bring up Clark Elliott. 0 for 1 on the evening. Hitting .229 in his rookie campaign. 1-0 pitch to Elliott, and he gets a nice slider to hit. Hits it into right, but it's right at the right fielder, and the A's are still scoreless. They'll bring in Kyle Muller in for the 6th inning for the lefties due up. First batter he faces will be Noah Miller, and the rookie will hit this one to Noda, and that'll be a 3 unassisted to begin the 6th. How about Andrew Vaughn, the first baseman for the Chi Sox, and he will hit this one over the head of Allen, splitting the left fielders. Pineda will cut it off just shy of the track, but that will be a 1-out double for Andrew Vaughn. That is his 31st double of the season. I feel like that is quite a bit. Now runner in scoring position for Dominic Fletcher. And the first pitch, he drills one deep center field. Pineda is ranging back at the track, at the wall, and he makes the grab. That was a loud out. Now Vaughn does tack and go to third. Now it's 2 down. Dalton Rushing up next, and he will hit this one high into center. And Muller will get through the 6th without allowing a run. He was staying into the 7th inning, though, where Brian Ramos would lead off. And with a 2-2 pitch, Ramos drills this one to left, and this one will not stay in the ballpark. A solo home run for the third baseman, Brian Ramos, extending the lead for the White Sox. That's his 5th homer of the season. 4:18 out to left. Now Chicago leads this one 3-0, thanks to the solo homer from Brian Ramos. Later in the inning, Mason Miller would come in relief after his first appearance since that abysmal appearance against the Braves. He's trying to get through the inning, and he will do just that as Cole Young hits this one to center, and that will end the 7th. The White Sox now leading 3-0. Going into the 8th, Zach Jackson will then come in relief for the Athletics. He's trying to get an out here to end the 8th with 2 on, and it's Brian Ramos up, and he will hit this one well to left again. This time the ballpark will hold it. Now it's 3-0 still. We'll go bottom 8 where Jared Schuster still in the game for Chicago. Another game where the Athletics cannot score any runs. Pineda will draw a walk. That will at least get a runner on for Clark Elliott, who's hitless thus far today, 0 for 2. The line out back in the 5th. With his fellow rookie on first base, the first pitch he sees, he'll hit it off the foot of Schuster, and this will be a base hit. And with that actually hit off the foot, that will take Schuster out of the game. He would be removed for Will Vest right after this, the former San Diego Padre, in for relief for the White Sox. 3.75 ERA for him. First batter he faces will be Zach Geloff as he pops this one up into right, where it will be caught by Dominic Fletcher for out number 1. So now Nick Allen up next with a 2-0 count, and Allen, our best hitter on runners in scoring position, he delivers this time. And the Athletics have their first run of the day, an RBI single off the bat of Nick Allen. And it's now 3-1. Still only one out as Ryan Noda will look at strike 3. Sinker hits the outside corner. The 2 down now for Soderstrom, who's down 0-2, and he will swing and miss with a changeup. You can tell he's frustrated. But the A's get 1, and now up by 2. We'll send it to Joe Barlow here in the 9th to try to keep it. That 2-run deficit, our best reliever. On the mound is Max Clark up first, and Clark, the former top prospect, once with the Tigers, then to the Dodgers, now with the White Sox, with a single up the middle. Tejera up next, swings through the fastball for strike 3. Good pitch by Barlow. And that'll bring up Eric Brown Jr., the 26-year-old rookie from Coastal Carolina with an RBI already to his name. And with a 2-0 count, hits this one to right, where it will be tracked down by Elliott for out number 2. Top of the lineup due next, the former Mariner Cole Young. And the first pitch will foul this off for Jacob Wilson, who will put it away for out number 3. And we'll head to the 9th, down by 2. Where the White Sox will bring in their closer, Brusdar Graterol, who has not been very good in that position. 23 for 32 with a 6.17 ERA. Former Dodger's not been the best closer for Chicago. Still been better than ours, though. Ramos starts by drawing a walk, so now the tying runs at the plate. It's the all-star Jacob Wilson who looks at strike 3. 97 gas at the knees gets him looking. Garrett Hansen up next, a hero in this same ballpark just a couple weeks ago, and he also strikes out. Which means we're down to our final out in the form of Pedro Pineda with a 2-2. And he's going to keep the game alive. Singles up the middle. Pineda's had a great month of August. So now 2 on, 2 outs. We're going to bring in some speed at second in the form of Sammy Ciani to try to score. A big spot here for Clark Elliott. Full count pitch, and he looks at strike 3. Just gets caught looking at the slider that backdoors him. And that'll do it for this one. The White Sox win game 1 of this 4-game set here at Sutter Health Park by a final score of 3-1. The Shy Sox get a much-needed victory. Their 51st, while we drop our 91st. Both teams with 6 hits. The White Sox had 3 runs to our 1. Schuster gets the win, Sears the loss, and Graterol gets the save. And your player of the game will go to Jared Schuster. 9 strikeouts, 7 innings, 4 hits, only 1 earned, given up to get Chicago the victory. Game 2, we also lose this one 4-3. Ariano did not have a good game. 3 earned in 6 innings and 8 strikeouts. One of his better games, I will say, however, but we still lost. Game 3, we lose by the exact same score, 4-3. Zach Geloff went deep for the 8th time this season, but it was not enough to beat Chicago in this one. And your other game on Saturday to look at was the Diamondbacks and the Orioles. And Arizona wins this one 7-5. 2 of the elite teams in baseball going at it. And the Diamondbacks win in a thriller, winning it in the 9th. Game 4, we lose 3-2. So we get swept in 4 by the White Sox. That's a horrible series for the A's. Mueller did not do good. He blew the save in this one. And we drop this and go into 43-94 before heading to September with tough matchups on the road against Pittsburgh before hosting the Dodgers. This is not going to be an easy start to the final month of the year, but that's the silver lining as we've reached the final month of the year. So the Athletics only have 1 more month to go before the season ends. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.